know what is going on, you martards out there. It's your boy A-Track Brown, and I am welcomed. I am joined by the professor. All right, because we tried to we tried to do a live show for y'all. Tried to sprucing things up a little bit around here because it's Bound for Glory Sunday here on the Black and Brown Throwdown, and we're gonna get into Bound for Glory. How was the show? Was it worth the money you paid? I know Professor wasn't upset. He paid like $6 for this shit. $2. CBT card or whatever.
$5 foot long.
$5 foot long. Me myself, I ain't gonna lie. I watched that shit online. I pirate streamed it. Listen, Impact fans, don't give me no shit, all right? Right now, even though I'm digging wrestling, I ain't giving my money to no fucking promotion as we see it, all right? I'm on a trans-wealthy budget real quick. There's things I got to do. There's things that I want to get, and so we're going to get into it, so don't worry about it. But this is Bound for Glory, and this show had a feeling of not like it wasn't. Let's just get it real. There's no audience, so the Bound for Glory feel was a little bit dead, even though over the years the Impact audience has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. Unfortunately, the pandemic has gotten to the point where they don't have an audience, so they're doing empty arena shows like everybody else, or like everybody else was. I would think that Impact would have jumped on that and, would have had some of their guys and gals out there rooting. Maybe they just didn't want to do that. Maybe they didn't want to take the chance.
Where are they filming this? Where are they?
I think this is being filmed in Florida. I'm not too sure.
If it's Florida, they can have some kind of crowd. I mean, that law has been passed. I mean,
yes, it has.
So I don't think this is Florida. I thought this was either Tennessee or in Scott D'Amore's Canada based. So that's the only thing I can think of.
I thought it was in Canada until, I saw that Don Callis was not at any of the tapings, but then I saw that Scott was, but I don't know if both of them live in Canada or just Don Callis. I don't know if there's flight restrictions going in and out of Canada. Not too sure about that. And I'm joined by, I'm dog sitting this weekend. This is Taco. Taco, go over there. Go.
Taco wants to be on camera. It's okay.
Taco's trying to hold the TV time, you see? And Chaos is just doing what Chaos does. Taco, let me tell you something. Mayhem comes in here and asks and sees you acting a fool, she's going to fuck you up. So relax. So anyway, we got Bound for Glory. And the opening match, let's get right to it. What was it? The Call Your Shot Gauntlet match? Was that it? There was no show from what I understand.
It was the 6-person
yes.
X Division.
X Division match. Six-person X Division match where you had Rohit Raju, Chris Bay, Jordan Grace, Willie Mack, and TJP, and Trey Miguel. Now, this match was exactly what me and Q thought it was going to be going in, Oh, shit. What am I doing? I completely forgot. We can't not do the show without the intro. I forgot. I just said I was, A-Track Brown here.
I already know what you're doing.
I forgot to introduce y'all, to give the full introduction to the most objective, the most magnanimous, the most prolific, and the most social of socialists. AOC, Professor, the most magnanimous man in the land. What's going on, brother? I'm sorry about that.
It's all right, Track. And, I accept that apology. Let me do this right because, I got to get my singing voice in this one. Welcome to the Bound for Glory, Black and Brown Throwdown. Yeah. Okay.
And today, on the Black and Brown Throwdown,
I don't have my bow tie, but I'm okay.
A great review, and we're here for you. I don't give a fuck. That segment on AEW was great. That segment on WWE SmackDown was great. 2 great segments. But we're talking about Bound for Glory. Like I said, we had the opening X Division match, which was intergender. Jordan Grace was in it. A lot of people thought Jordynne Grace was going to walk away with the title, especially me, since she just got married officially to the octopus himself, Jonathan Gresham, which I already thought she was married to him. But anyway, the match in itself was exactly what me and the professor thought it was going to be going in. You had your spots. You had your spots for Willie Mack. You had your spots for Chris Bay. You had your spots for Jordynne Grace. You had your spots for Trey Miguel. You even had your heelish spots from Rohit Raju. Prof, give me your thoughts on the match, brother.
Yeah, it was a lot of spots. But the worst spot is TJP trying to like put a submission hold on like 5 people. I thought it was very redundant. You know what the problem is, Track? I hate.
Well, my problem with that was it when Jordynne Grace got involved, it was like, okay, you didn't need that. That was overkill. What he had in the beginning was just fine.
Not only it was overkill, it's like this generation, and this is not an Impact thing. This is a WWE thing. This is an AEW thing. This is a generational thing that these wrestlers, when the clusterfuck matches like this happens, they're trying to one-up each other and try to create another original spot. And with THP trying to do like ankle locks on 4 or 5 people at the same time, I thought it was kind of redundant. But again, it is what it is for an X Division match, and everybody had their spots in there. And you're surprised that Jordynne Grace didn't win? I wasn't, because, Rohit Raju, as people have called him, and I'm going to say this for all the hustleites out there, they're calling Rohit Raju the 2020 version of the Honky Tonk Man, of the way he has the title. He's the smartest man to hold the title. He's one of those weakest champions, but somehow, some way, he comes out as the champion. So, yeah, he finds a way to win, and I was not surprised that I even said Rohit's going to win this one, because I don't even see why are you going to have Jordynne Grace win? Nah, I don't see it. And Willie Mack, this is the problem with the X Division here, Track, and you have to really admit this. Chris Bay comes in with the title so quickly, so he can't win. He can't get his thunder back. Willie Mack had the title for a coffee drink. All this stuff. So why give it to Jordynne Grace so she can lose it in 3 weeks? Let Rohit have the shine that he has. He has the best shine right now.
And that's exactly why I had no problem with the outcome. They've been playing hot potato with a few titles as of lately in Impact, and I didn't understand
in wrestling in general. Now, I'm not going to play.
But see, there's no story to what they've been doing in Impact with the hot potato of the title. It's just like what we saw with the main event. When Eric Young won it, it was clear what they were going to do. But it was really no story to it. It was like almost they just made up something as they went along. Even though I dug what they did with the world title. But when you see hot potato in wrestling right now, it's making sense. With Evil and Naito, it made sense. It was to help build that dude Evil up. He's gotten more shine on him. It was to just give him a little something. Make 2020 actually evil.
But I'll say this: you said it didn't make sense, but when Rohit got hot potato that belt, they made it a story after that. So I have no problem with that. They finally put consistency. Back and forth.
But see, here's the thing: it was this dude had it, then this dude had it. With AEW and New Japan, this dude had it, then this dude he took it from got it back. When you do that, I have no issue with that. But when Chris Bay just got that title, and then next thing you know, he loses it to Rohit, and it's like, why? Who even gives a damn about Rohit at the end of the day? I mean, listen, I'm not trying to play the dude. He's a good wrestler. He's a good character. He can talk this, that, and the third. But what was the point? Why did they take it off Chris Bay so quickly? I never understood that. And even when I was in, Facebook groups with the Impact fans, I was like, what was the point of that? And I had cats telling me different things, but none of it made sense. So Rohit keeping the title in a match that was good. It was a good Spot Fest match. And I gotta say, Spot Fest should be reserved for triple threats and all of that, and gauntlets. That's what those are for. So I don't have no problem when I see spots like that in those particular matches, because you got so many people. You want to give everybody a little bit of time to shine, and they did that. And I like I said, when it's a triple threat match or some type of gauntlet or battle royale or something like that, it should be given a pass because of how many people in the ring, who we're dealing with and how long the match may be, you know, I particularly have no problem with that. If it's a tag match, that might be a different story. If it's a two-on-two tag match, that might be a different story. But anything that's a triple threat or more spot fest, to me, is completely fine. So then we had to call your shot battle royal, right? That's when we had. You had that.
That's when the whole Impact roster got into this one.
Yeah, man. You had AC Romero, you had Alicia Edwards, you had Cody Deaner, Brian Myers, Havoc, Heath Slater, Hernandez, Larry D, Rhino, Taya Valkyrie, Tennille Dashwood, Tommy Dreamer, and you had Daivari come back. You had a return of James Storm, which I'm probably sure was just a one-off thing. Sami Callihan.
Wait. Hold up. We gotta at least address the elephant in the room. You gotta at least call this out. We gotta do it live, which they did with Rhino and Heath before the call your shot.
Oh my God! Listen. Let's not act like
I was laughing. I'm not saying, you know. I'm just saying sloppy shop is a sloppy shop.
No. It's one of those confusing moments. Like, wait, what just happened? Like, if you wasn't paying attention, you were like, did I miss something? Or was I not, you know, whatever. But I was watching on the stream when I was able to go back a few seconds, and I said, "Oh shit!" They cut in right when they were doing it, as they introduced them into the segment. It was like 3, 2, 1, go. And I was like, "Wait, what?" It reminded me of Sid Vicious. Let me do that again. JR, we're live, pal. It was hilarious. It was one of those fuck ups that just made you start fucking laughing because
that's what I would. I was laughing. I was laughing too hard on that shit.
If you got up and you went to the bathroom, you probably missed it. All right. If you were playing video games while watching Bound for Glory and you turned to your screen to make sure somebody didn't get away with your loot in Warzone, you probably missed it. But I knew something wasn't right. I went back and I just started dying with that shit. So you got to call your shot battle royale. Tommy Dreamer makes an appearance in the animal, LOD, makeup, paying tribute to, Animal, who passed away recently. So that was kind of cool. This thing was all over the place. But we all knew going in who this was geared for. And it was geared for Heath Slater getting his Impact contract. And, at one point in the match, right before, it was just Rhino and Sami Callihan.
I was confused. I was honestly confused because I thought he had to win this to get his contract.
Well, Rhino had to win it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Had to win. But when Heath got thrown out by Sammy, Sammy goes, "I don't give a damn about your kids," which was definitely a play on what Brock Lesnar said. So I actually got a kick out of that. So they played that to the story. Rhino was like the first guy in there, so he was like shit tired. Rhino eventually gets the win. He wins the Puggy, bowling ball trophy, whatever the hell that was. It's probably just as worth just as much money as that shit that they do in Saudi Arabia with the WWE.
That was the Married with Children No Man Bowling Tournament trophy.
Exactly, the Puggy. So at the end of the day, the only thing that really mattered was Heath Slater getting his contract. So Heath Slater got his contract, and use the narrative of WWE Reject when it comes to Heath Slater and somebody like Brian Myers, who was also in the match. And I tell you what, I said this on the thread that we were on. If Storm is in there for a while, I want to see him paired either in tag or some type of feud with Brian Myers. I think they would work well together. But like I said, you wanted to see Heath Slater get this contract. I don't think calling him a WWE Reject is right on this particular.
I never did.
Yeah,
I never did.
He's talented. He's entertaining as shit. And listen, I don't give a fuck. Nothing is beating what they did with him a few weeks ago on Impact, when they had all the cameo different appearances and whatnot, and D'Lo Brown coming in trying to freaking campaign for Heath getting hired. I thought that was great. It was a good build into this. They let Heath do his thing. They obviously let him book this himself, I guess, have more control over it, and it was cool. So now we just get to see where it goes from here. So give me your thoughts, Q.
It went all over the place. That's one thing for sure. You know, with Swoggle, when you have what else? You have James Storm, you have Davari come back. Everything is there in this clusterfuck, and you know we could talk about the spots here and there. And I like the Tommy Dreamer tribute to Road Warrior Animal myself. Again, I was a little confused with the Heath Slater thing. I thought he had to win this totally. I don't know. I mean, I might have to go back and watch Bound for Glory Hustle Ice because I don't know. I'm just saying Josh Matthews. Well, first of all, Josh Matthews. We're gonna have to talk about this. He sucked on commentary. I don't know what he was high. So he didn't really explain. That's why I was confused. I thought he had to win it, and he showed no emotion for Rhino winning it and being happy for Heath getting it. Number one. Number two, again, I mean, do I want Rhino to I understand the premise track, and you explained it very well, but this dude didn't need to win it. It should have been Heath. It was predicated. It was set up for Heath. He could have won.
It goes out. I mean, listen, I mean, when Heath got knocked out, you still knew he was.
You just said it. The campaign. The campaign.
But it was the build of the campaign. So seeing Heath get thrown out and it being Rhino being his only hope, the man who started in that motherfucker, who was in there for so long, you know, that's all that was about. It was obvious, but you know, as much as I hate to say this, because who the fuck, what casual is watching Impact? That was the booking. It was casual. It was casual fan booking. But
one more person is watching this casual.
They don't need to do that because you listen. I said this before and I say it again. Right now, it's all IWC shit. It's all IWC.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
No fans.
But I just say the payoff for Heath would have been greater.
I'm saying I'm somewhat agreeing with you because they don't need to do that. You know, I understand where you're coming from. I'm just saying I understood what they were doing. I'm saying it was unnecessary because you're not having someone who's not familiar with the product not watch. The only people that are watching fucking Impact are the fucking hardcores, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'll make a prediction right now. I predict this video will probably get more than 60 fucking views. Because, I mean, listen, right now.
That's for damn sure.
I like Impact, but listen, it's got no buzz. It's got no traction. It's something that you watch and you just, you know, you throw their names in the conversation because you can actually see if you're a wrestling fan that the things that they do are good. Got some hit and misses, but they got a lot more hits than they do misses, in my opinion, with the things that they're doing right now. And I didn't mind that too much. So what the hell we had next?
The Control Your Narrative Warehouse Raw Underground or Impact Underground contest between Moose and EC3.
Oh, there you go. The Control Your. Now, listen. What I liked about this was both these guys were just great in what they do. I've said this during the week about EC3. I don't think, as far as a wrestler, he's that good. You know, to be honest with you, in my opinion of his in-ring ability, he's only a few steps above John Cena. Maybe he's improved since then, but in Impact, he didn't really do too much that made me, you know, look at him and say, wow, this guy's a really good wrestler. But his character is completely undeniable. And from what he did in Impact, forget what he did in WWE because he didn't do anything. But he was still playing off that EC3, you know, Ethan Carter III, I'm a Carter, this world needs me persona, to this right here, this, you know, Antifa, you know, what some might say if they were paying attention, what gave birth to the Raw Underground and Retribution. This role that he's in right now, that he's playing both in Impact and in ROH, is pretty fucking entertaining. And it sucks that it's on this small platform and not a lot of people are watching. Even if you combine ROH and Impact together, still not enough.
8 viewers. That's 8 viewers.
Yeah, I mean, I would like this a hell of a lot better. It probably gets criticized just as so if it was on AEW. I don't know how they didn't pick him up, but he went back to Impact Wrestling. Impact is, as far as I'm concerned, even Lucha Underground, Impact Wrestling are the kings of the cinematic match because this shit was fucking great. Moose was wearing all white, fucking heel to the death. He knew he knew if there's gonna be some blood in this shit, then let me show. Let me show the people the brutality. Let me and as a black man, when you're in this business and you blade and you're dark as Moose, it doesn't really look too good because it blends in. You know, niggas dark already.
You saw it. No, you saw it with or without the white. You saw it.
You did, but I know for a fact that I'm almost positive that Moose wore that white for the blood effect. I'm almost positive that it had.
I'll give you that.
I'm just saying, like I said, unless you're like a fucking Devon Dudley or a New Jack or a Doodle the Butcher, a lot of times when you black and you blade, it's hard to look at it and see the blood spilling. Sometimes it is.
I give you that.
Mixed in with the sweat and the brown skin, and sometimes it just doesn't look as crazy as it does when it was somebody who's not brown skinned. But this did look good. The blood was everywhere. Blood was all over the clothes, and then you had the minions watching. You had Antifa on the side. You had the anarchists, and I think I even saw a Proud Boy in there somewhere. So you had people watching. You had the Boogaloos there. You know, they were threatening to take fucking Dixie Carter hostage. They just didn't know that she wasn't running the company no more. So they just going after everybody. But you had this match, cinematic, and just. The camera shots was great. The dialogue was fucking impeccable. It was really on some movie shit, man.
But the music sucked. The music
was terrible. I don't know who chose that music. Maybe, listen, as someone who aspired to be a screenwriter and filmmaker, I understand doing certain things that are out of the norm. I can dig that. I didn't understand this music though.
It was 80s new wave techno shit.
It was. Listen, if you watch the pay-per-view, go YouTube 9 Inch Nails Less Than, because it was like a ripoff off of that. It was like they wanted 9 Inch Nails to do the music, but Trent Reznor said no. So they tried to go with their own generic version. I thought it was the fucking Depeche Mode's B-sides. I really did. I said, who chose this shit? And once that shit stopped and they got to the, type music, and then it went in. But then towards the end, here they came in with the bullshit B-sides of 9 Inch Nails and Depeche Mode, whatever. So that it played a part because it was just it got distracting a little bit. It did. But, you saw shit that you didn't expect. I didn't expect EC3 to, be pretty much give Moose the fight. That was the whole thing. Control your own narrative. His whole thing was he was going to destroy that belt. And I honestly felt that what they were doing was getting rid of the TNA legacy. I thought that's what they were going to do. I thought we were going to see no more references to TNA at all. I really felt they were going to do that. I thought it was going to play a part in the main event as well.
But this is not. But for EC3, the control your narrative. I'm going to have to be objective here, and you might not. I know you won't agree with this, but I've seen this control your narrative go with weeks. I've seen the control your narrative spill over to ROH. And what you said is right about what he's, his talking abilities. The fight is good. I'm not even going to deny that. I got bored. I'm sorry. I got bored with the narrative thing because now I'm looking at it after this has happened. And now I'm going to see ROH. I'm going to see what he's doing. If he's picking people to get them motivated to get out of this character, because Moose was this arrogant, prissy guy who took the TNA title and proclaimed he was the greatest TNA heavyweight championship, and he wanted to motivate him to be a serious monster. Okay, so now EC3 is a life coach. He just is going to pick people and be a life coach and try to motivate them to be a better version than what they were. They weren't.
Patience.
I'm trying to be. I'm just bored with the narrative thing.
No. You should take that back right now. You should take that back right now. No, I'm serious. Take it back. And I'll tell you why.
Take it because I gotta see ROH because I gotta see the ROH side.
Not even that. You have to see what happens on Wednesday. So you should take that back if on Tuesday. And you see what happens
I'll apologize on Wednesday.
If it sucks on Tuesday,
I can't apologize right now.
If it sucks on Tuesday, you do a special professor's perspective. This is what I'm saying. Because I'm thinking
because once you said
maybe Moose joins EC3.
I'm just saying I understand where you're going with this with your booking, but I'm just saying. But now you said Antifa, this is retribution. So now, how come you're not quick to say he's not EC3 ain't buried? He's the lone retribution. He got smoked by Moose, man. It was like Bobby Lashley all over again. It was like I saw that what I saw was Mustafa Ali and Bobby Lashley 2.0.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean.
This is what I mean. Look at the eyes.
No. This is what I mean about storytelling. With the exception of the main event, which we'll get into, this was a fucking great story that they told. So the whole control your narrative thing of him pretty much, doing a almost a Bray Wyatt in reverse. You know how you save somebody from getting buried, from not losing. You don't have him lose. He didn't lose. It wasn't a match.
It wasn't. He was a life coach. That's why I said he was a life coach. He was a wrestling life coach.
Okay, fine. He stood up to Moose and he said, "I like me, and I want you to like you for me." But it was a more evil touch to it. All right, fine. He went there, but the whole control your narrative shit, I like it because it is almost true to everything that's happening in the WWE right now. These guys can't control their fucking narrative because the WWE. I know
where the premise is. I know the hidden agenda. I know the hidden symbolism. But I'm just saying. Now you said wait until Tuesday. Wait until see what Moose is gonna do. But I just see if he stays in Impact.
Niggas to leave the WWE. Get the fuck out of there. Control your own narrative.
I wanted to see the next people he's picking to control the narrative because I see him trying to pick because Eddie Edwards needs his narrative to be retold. Because this,
I would be there for you because Eddie changed his style up. The way his style is now, it can transition into being a follower of EC3. I couldn't if they went there, I wouldn't object to it. It probably won't, but I wouldn't object to it. But all I'm saying is you can't even bring up that conversation if you're serious about being buried. He didn't lose. It was a cinematic fight, a cinematic match into which it was good.
I'm just bringing up what people say on the chats. I'm not the one. I'm just bringing up.
Look at that. Who's really gonna look at that and say EC3 is buried? Because of that. Nobody's going to look at that shit. If it was an actual match and he lost to a 50-year-old man in 2 minutes, then nobody could say he's buried. And if he came back and started beating the shit out of everybody like he was an invincible god, then anybody could say something.
But I'm still sticking to I'm a little bit bored with the narrative thing. I want to see because again, if it's going to be filtered and I'm looking at ROH and who EC3 is going to focus on to control their narrative, and Jay Lethal is going to be one to control his narrative because that's the only person that needs his narrative to be retold or regrouped or something.
In the thread tonight, did he in ROH? Did he make a play at Jay Lethal?
No, he didn't make a play. It was Shane Taylor. Shane Taylor made a play at EC3, so that was the thing.
I haven't. Other than knowing that he's in ROH, I haven't actually looked at it.
But he hasn't done the narrative thing in ROH. He's done I'm looking for fights. I'm looking for.
Okay, got you. Understand now. So what else do we had in that? So what did you give that? What did you give the cinematic match? What did you think of it?
A great cinematic match. I mean, it was a great camera angles. The music sucked, so it did its purpose for Moose. I mean, if Moose is now the monster that EC3 saw in him from jump, then let's see where it goes on Tuesday, and let's see what And the funny thing is, this was a positive for Moose in a sense because ever since we've been saying for a long time, pre-pandemic, that Moose should have been the Impact World Champion, and they never pulled the trigger on this. So, and he had nothing. He really had nothing before this. So, the belt saved him.
We can't say it's the black thing. We definitely can't say it's that.
It's a COVID thing. I don't know. It's a COVID thing, but the prop of a TNA belt really made me interested in him, and EC3. This narrative storyline helped Moose. I'm just personally, again, I was a little bit bored of the narrative, but it did wonders for Moose. So now let's see where it goes after that.
Good point, because that was another thing about it. Moose shined so much in this whole feud. He showed that he really does have a talent to be pretty much any type of character you want him to be. Because this entire character was kind of a parody of itself. Mm-hmm. But with this whole EC3 thing, you kind of taking it a little bit more serious now. It wasn't just Moose wearing the wild ass outfits on purpose. So all right, cool. So coming up, we had the what was it? Knockouts or the tag? It doesn't matter. We'll just go with the tag for now. And the tag team match, in which you had the Motor City Machine Guns, the Good Brothers, Madman Fulton and Ace Austin versus the North. And I thought this match was okay. I didn't think it was nothing about it really stood out, with the exception of what happened in the beginning. So now which leaves me with some questions. The North came out. And they attacked while the Motor City Machine Guns was coming out. The North attacked. Was it Kip Sabian?
No, they attacked Alex Shelley. They power drove him on the stage. And here comes the symbolism of a bad sloppy shot. How the hell you pick up a dude whose neck and he's unconscious? You just pick him up by the neck, oh, by the way.
Yeah. Where was the gurney and everything?
Where was the brace? Where was everything?
Nah, they didn't have no gurney. They didn't have nothing.
They took a shot at
something go to the back. They ruined the shot.
They took a shot at Tony Khan and his sloppy shot.
I didn't understand why they did that. I can only assume that either they didn't want to beat.
Well, remember, remember business-wise, I think the Motor City Machine Guns have not fully signed a contract with Impact Wrestling.
So I get that, but it still didn't make sense.
Well, if you want to write them out and then, and have focused on the other three tag teams because they're there for the long haul, I understand that. Or, Alex Shelley, has kind of retired, semi-retired, and came back. He did that one stint in NXT, and then he comes back. He did his thing in ROH, and then he's doing his thing here in TNA. So he's doing the same thing like EC3. He's just venturing out and, having fun, you could say. So, but he's not being committed. He's not committed to one place.
That might be a possibility. Either way, I didn't get it. I just thought maybe he got legit hurt and he couldn't be in the match, and that's what they went with. Like I said, the match it wasn't nothing too exciting. To be honest, I was going back and forth in my house doing shit, so I didn't really pay attention to this match as much as I did everybody else, because I thought I knew what the outcome was going to be, which was going to be the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows winning the match. And before this match, there was a great promo by what was his name? Ethan Page. And Josh, I forgot his name.
Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander, because his name is Josh. I didn't want to say Matthews, and so I was having a hard time remembering his last name. But so Josh Alexander and Ethan Page cut a great fucking promo. It was great. From what I understand, word to the grapevine, is Ethan Page's contract is almost up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was saying, joking around, I said Ethan Page is auditioning for AEW right now. That was one hell of a fucking promo.
Well, what they did was renegotiate right now, and Ethan Page is like,
something happened tonight. Maybe
yeah.
maybe he might be staying because, like I said, I didn't mind the match too much. I guess I didn't pay attention to the match too much. My fault.
Okay, I want to make a trolling statement to the Hustleites right now, and you're gonna like this trolling statement. The Impact Tag Team division is way, way better than the AEW Tag Team division because all their tag teams are on equal footing. I love their tag team division more than AEW. Go ahead, Track.
I wouldn't even categorize that as trolling. I'm not saying that the AEW Tag Team division is bad. I would say right now both of them are hot. What makes Impact Tag Team division is so good, they don't really have too many tag teams, but
they got enough, and they focus on all of them.
They just don't have too many well-named ones, okay? But they do a lot. They put a hell of a lot more focus on their division than what we see in WWE. Now with AEW, I would say I like them both the same. I have no complaints on either one. I can't, I wouldn't say it's a troll I wouldn't say you're unless you're if you say you're trolling, then you're basically admitting that you think AEW is better. You're just pissing people. You just try to piss people.
No. I'm telling you the truth. Impact Tag Team division is better.
I cannot honestly. I don't even know how you can fix yourself to say that. I really don't. If there's one thing that AEW is doing well, it's that fucking tag team division. All right, I don't want to go too much into AEW.
I know.
But I ain't got no problem with the AEW tag team division, especially with who's carrying the tag team championships at this time and the story that they're setting up. But anyway, your thoughts on the match itself, because I'm pretty sure you were more focused on that than I was at the time.
I think a lot of people, well, the 8 people who are still hardcore fans for Impact Wrestling were waiting for the Good Brothers to get the payoff after all this.
Whoa. Let's just acknowledge that Bound for Glory was the 9th trending topic on Twitter. So you had
9 people. 9 people really tweeted their ass off. So okay, I got you.
Let's just give them some type of credit.
I'm giving them. I'm just saying. I think a lot of people were waiting for the payoff of the Good Brothers to get the tag team titles. I actually didn't see it. I actually was gonna pick. I picked the North, and I was like, I think the North is gonna do something because of what they did against the Motor City Machine Guns. I went with that scenario there. I don't think Gallows and Anderson, they don't even need the belts because they're doing a lot of stuff with the talking shop. They're doing a lot of stuff that doesn't even need the thing. I think it would be like, do you want to cater to another? I don't want to use that former WWE syndrome. I don't want to say that, but why cater to the Good Brothers? Because the Good Brothers are already doing shit already exponentially with talking shop, and so they don't need the titles to vindicate anything. They're having fun. They're having fun.
I think it's Entrepreneur Magazine did an article on their website about them, saying that they're making themselves a little mini fortune on what they're doing. So with Doc and Gallows, with Gallows and Anderson, we may have ourselves another Young Bucks here where, not in the WWE, they're going to make a really good business for themselves and make a lot of money on doing what they're doing. So I agree. They don't really lose anything by not winning the tag team titles. But are they buried?
No, they didn't take the pin. They didn't take the pin. They were smart. They're smart businessmen too. And when the pandemic, hopefully the restrictions, I think their payoff, to me, Track, they want to win the New Japan tag titles. I think that's what they're focusing on when the pandemic is over and they can travel to Japan. I think that's their number one focus. I don't think the Impact titles, it would be a nice mantelpiece to be the best tag team in the world, to have the Impact, WWE, and New Japan, and say they've done them all. But I think they want to get those New Japan tag belts back. Unfinished business.
I guarantee you, if they do, they will somehow work out a deal with it. Will bring those belts on Impact Wrestling Television.
Yeah, to do it like that.
I don't have that doubt at all. So after that, you have the Knockouts Championship match.
Wait. Let's do the let's pay homage to the Hall of Famer and
All
his
right.
match.
Yes, almost forgot about him. Yes, almost forgot.
And you know why they were ninth trending, because all the tweets was The Rock inducted Ken Shamrock into the TNA or Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame.
No, first off, I said this during the thread. They're gonna milk that shit for as much as they can. All right. I don't know if it was a cameo, because I said to myself, why would The Rock do cameo? The motherfucker is like a billionaire.
Well, Mick Foley did a video, and Bret Hart did a video too, giving shine to
money. I could see them needed that, but The Rock don't need a cameo. I think The Rock just generally did a favor for Ken Shamrock.
No, Ken asked Rock to induct him into the Hall of Fame. So.
Yes, he did.
I can't wait for the Impact Bound for Glory Rock shirts. Inducting Ken Shamrock.
Here's my question: had there been no pandemic, had The Rock would have been there?
Yeah.
You think he would have been there live?
Rock don't give a fuck. You know this. Rock don't give a fuck. He would not have been there if he got paid. He would not have been there if he got paid by Vince. But he would have been there because he's a man of his word.
What would have been ultra sweet is if there was no pandemic and the match was completely reversed, where I guess you could say it was because you have to take out the whole speaking out movement too, where you would have OVW or OVE against Ken Shamrock, and The Rock comes out and makes a save. Now, if we didn't have all this and that happened, that shit, this shit would be been right now. Like,
now you can't. Now you're going a little off the rails here. You know that Vince would say you can induct him, but you ain't doing anything physical.
Nah, I listen. I really believe that if he could have, he would have. I think he could. If he could have, for Ken, if he could have, he would have. He would have spoke about it with Vince. He was like, listen, they're not making no noise. They're not. Listen, I'm not pointing them.
All right. Let's be serious here now.
I'm not gonna work with you at all.
No. If there was no pandemic and he was on the movie schedule that he is, he would be filming Black Adam right now, and you could not do anything physical. He had to do what he had to do. So that's why he would only induct him into the Hall of Fame. Maybe I'll give you a maybe, like distract OVE or whatever, but nothing physical.
Show up on the screen.
Yeah, so
you're a bunch of drunken, whatever. Yeah.
Something like, I'll give you that.
You had Ken Shamrock versus Eddie Edwards, and like you were saying during the thread, Shamrock was gassed 8 minutes into the match. But it was still a cool match to watch. It was still a brutal match to watch. Shamrock won, which I said was going to happen because Sami Callihan got involved. I didn't even understand why this was the way it was. I understood why they had Shamrock now in line with Callihan after the beef they had. It was one of those feuds that was, one of those intense feuds where they beat the hell out of each other so much that at the end of the day, they just start respecting each other and having each other's backs and this, that, and the third. Almost like what was going on with Nia Jax and fucking Shayna Baszler being the fucking tag team champions. One of those type of things, run of the mill type shit. But it was cool to watch. Watching Ken Shamrock fight is just always funny because you think you're watching Sylvester Stallone in another Rocky movie. That's exactly what the dude looks like. You know. The years of abuse.
He's got a good body, but he gets gassed too quickly, so that's why it's bad.
But even though he was gassed, he caught his second win because going towards the end of the match, it wasn't like before the last pay-per-view I watched where it was like he didn't know what the fuck was going on. He seemed like he was actually focused in on this, and he gets the win over Eddie. It was in a match where I didn't think was bad at all.
I think Eddie Edwards was an afterthought. I think it was just the progression of this alliance between Shamrock and Sami Callihan, which I see them going after those tag team championships, and they're gonna again making another
going after the world title. Actually,
I don't know. Maybe
Sami goes after it, and when Shamrock's help gets it again. That's because remember. Callihan and Swan, they have that feud and they have that connection, so I would not be surprised. But then again, if that happens, if Sammy gets the belt right after Rick Swann, and again playing fucking hot potato with the fucking title, So hopefully they don't do it yet. They, do it sometime in the spring. Like let the man hold the belt for a while. We'll get into that match anyway. But
I'm sorry, I got distracted by Taco because I think Taco was doing something. Come hither, like lying down like a Playboy centerfold or something. But that go ahead.
Chaos ain't getting that nigga no pussy. If anything, she'll start fucking humping his ass. For real. But you had the X Division, the Knockouts Division title that was on the line, the Knockouts Championship with Deonna Purrazzo, which we thought was going to be Deonna Purrazzo versus Kylie Ray, but from the rumor mill, we'll find out later, it appears that Kylie contracted COVID.
Yeah, probably tested positive, and they had to pull an audible here and bring in Su Yung. So
they brought in Su Yung. She wasn't. What was her persona? Susie.
Susie.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
She was Susie. She was Su Yung. Someone made a comment saying that the match suffered because of no audience, and they were spot on. It did, because this fucking match kicked fucking ass. I didn't even pay attention to Deonna Purrazzo too much when she was in NXT, but I'm paying attention to her now, and she's been on.
Again, like you said, hot potato. We can't even enjoy a Deonna Purrazzo legacy run.
I
now. And I get, and if Kylie Ray was if she tested negative, this would have been her shining moment. But then, no fans. So the happy-go-lucky Kylie Ray, maybe this was a blessing in disguise, not having COVID. So it is what it is to me.
But you are not wrong again. Playing hot potato. Su Yung definitely ends up, she ended up champ in a match. Like I said, that was really fucking good. Deonna Purrazzo, man, she just signed a long-term deal, so I actually thought she was winning. So again,
me too.
What the hell? If Kylie Ray was supposed to win the title, you didn't mean you still didn't have to take it off Deonna, especially after that Instagram shot of her ass. Like,
yeah, that should have made her win this match. Even
on her.
Yeah.
Like, if I was running shit, I'd be like, listen, I wasn't gonna take the title off, but after I saw that picture, she's gonna have to hold on to that.
and the one thing, you might have liked this match, and I'm gonna go logistically for the Su Yung character. And stay with me, Track. You remember how Su Yung is scary and like vicious and all this stuff. Like, she handled Rosemary very easily. It kind of seemed like that way. Now that is this a merging between Susie and Su Yung where she's a little bit weaker? I don't know. It's hard to kind of explain that. Why?
You know why? And this is it's not buried, but it made her look.
I didn't say buried. I'm just saying it just looks different.
I'm gonna tell you, this is where it made her look weak. I'm gonna talk about Deonna Purrazzo. She got the Fujiwara armbar on Su Yung, and Su Yung pretty much reversed it with the female mandible claw, as I like to say, 'cause that's what it is. And so you saw that the whole Su Yung mystique, was still there, because she took that where everyone else, tapped out in seconds pretty much, or couldn't take it, like a Jordynne Grace. So she was able to reverse it with her own move, and in the end walked out with the Women's Impact Championship, which was even with the help of Kimberly. So, maybe Purrazzo starts blaming Kimberly and we get a feud between them. I don't know. But we also got the announcement of the Impact Women's Tag Team Championships coming back, which made me actually laugh my ass off. Not because, just once I laughed because they was bringing it back, and then I laughed again because Josh Matthews said that they were going to have the pay-per-view in January of 2020.
Yeah, that too.
He later corrected himself, thank God. But if you notice, Don Callis almost laughed his ass off. He went just like this.
He just went straight to writing some dribble. He went straight to writing some dribble on that shit.
And then he just like, he fucking noticed that shit. But I'm glad Matthews picked it up. But they're gonna do this, and I said to myself, do they have enough females? But I was like, hell yeah, they do have enough females for this. Because right now you got.
But we were begging for it. No, we weren't begging for it. Who's begging for this?
No one asked for this. But after Wrestle House, I said, okay, yeah, I can see this being a thing. And listen, the first fucking champions better be Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie. You know, we got a wedding coming up, so I'm expecting that to be the shit. So we get to the main event. Rich Swann with his creepy shaved face that just makes him look like, oh, dude, you're scaring the fucking shit out of me. And Eric Young, who the professor still can't shake the vibes of Super Eric, even though he can forget that John Cena was blackface without the makeup. So you had this match, and basically the build to this match was great. With the exception of, I can't say it's great, I say good, because they overdid it with the trying to gain sympathy for Rich Swann with the ankle thing. If you watch this, no. Just no. Unless you sent this motherfucker to Wakanda to get his goddamn ankles fixed, ain't no way that man...
Vibranium. He got vibranium in his ankles. He's got vibranium in his ankles.
They put some vibranium spurs in his ankle, man, because no fucking way should he been in this fucking match with what you saw Eric Young do to this fucking man's ankle. I got what they were trying to do. I accepted it. I understood it. I was fine with it, but you were overdoing it because it was too much of the.
They overdid it. Wait, you know, in all honesty, again, I'm gonna have to go legit.
His fucking foot should have fell off.
Eric Young did the ankle thing to, let's see, how many people? He did the ankle thing to Eddie Edwards. He did the ankle thing to Tommy Dreamer. He did the ankle thing to the Deaners. Everybody's fine by Bound for Glory time, so why not Rich Swann be fine by Bound for Glory time? I'm sorry that he did it.
Unrealistic of it right there, it bothered me. I was just like, I get it, but come on, man. You only had to do it once. When they did it once, it was fine, but then they had him do it when he was still recovering. So it was like, you know, that was over the line. But in this match, Eric Young completely just dominated the shit out of Rick Swann. He did a move where I thought Rick Swann got legit hurt outside. I said, holy fuck, that spot scared the shit out of me. I really thought Rick was hurt. I really did. Rick does a really good job at selling. He really fucking does. And you got to give props to a guy, any guy that can make you feel that he really fucking got hurt. I didn't see this. That's the only thing where I said, okay, so he's okay. But they kept going back, and, you know, you saw them, you know, talking. So I thought he was, you know, he was hurt, but he wasn't. And, you know, Rick Swann, he builds the momentum, and the spam on the kickouts happened. But if you notice, you saw these spams on the kickouts. You saw these multiple kickouts. It was the story that was being told. If you notice, it wasn't a big ass super kick into the turnbuckle into another super kick, pin attempt, then fucking kicking out. It wasn't
the AEW NXT booking. Yeah, I get you. I understand. They didn't do it.
They told you a good story. You got pinfalls after basic moves, no finishes. You know, I think there was like maybe one, if I say maybe one or two. But the story was being told here. So I want people, if you haven't seen it, to notice that. If you did see it and you were wondering, oh, this, that, and the third, I'm telling you that was what was happening. So at the end,
I did notice, but the wrong guy is in the main event. I'm just sorry. I just don't like Eric Young. He don't deserve to be in the main event. Super Eric and the World Elite. You know, Eric Young is an X Division guy. Eric Young should be in the middle of the card. Man. I'm sorry.
Eric Young is a fucking business guy and a character to a T. He can do it all. You get people, there's people who didn't even know about Super Eric, but they see the crazy Eric Young and they're like, yo, I fucking like this dude, you know? So that's how, for me, I always know that I feel that I'm not too far off in my opinion on shit like that. When someone from the outside looks at a guy and says, yo, I like this dude, he's actually really fun. Like almost like Orange Cassidy. Everybody I know who just got on the fucking AEW who's like a casual, their favorite wrestler right now, the favorite character on AEW is Orange Cassidy. They just can't get over the whole laid backness of the shit. I get calls and texts from all types of people who I haven't heard it from in years, you know, saying like, yo, this nigga's mad saucy. What the fuck? You gotta put me on to this shit. So when I get the same vibes and the same reaction from a guy like Eric Young. So for me, I see the talent. I've seen what he's done. I've seen, you know, the comedy. I've seen the seriousness. I've seen the face. I've seen, you know, when it was for me when I changed my mind on Eric Young and I said he has it was when he did the World Elite and he was the leader of that shit. I thought that was fucking great. I thought he was in his element during that. But you know, you had him in this match. They had him take the title from Eddie Edwards so he could drop it to Rick Swann, and that's what he did because Rick Swann is now your new Impact World Wrestling. Your Impact World Champion. You know, and you know, for right now, we got some black excellence in Impact Wrestling. So, you know, what do they do from here? I don't know. But I know one thing. The next black dude to hold that title, it better be Moose. Pruff. Let him know before we get out of here.
I'm not gonna sway from my opinion on Eric Young. I just don't see it. When he was the world champion in 2013, it was, you know, they did it because Daniel Bryan was the champion, so I understood why they did it. But then, you know, I was like, this guy gonna do shit for me. This guy gonna you know, put the needle on him.
He had when he was world
he has
champion.
Good matches. He has good matches, but he's just not that dude. That's just my opinion. I'm just gonna stick to it. And whatever he did here, fine, good. He's not a main eventer. I'm sorry. You know, I don't mean to disrespect you, Eric Young. If you get to see this and you get on my Twitter at PROFPWHustle and try to prove me wrong, but I still stick to my opinion. You're not a main eventer, dude. This was a story for Rich.
Shocked when he was released from the WWE. I was shocked when I saw they didn't do nothing with him because I knew he should have went back to NXT. He should have went back to NXT. I knew he wasn't going to be a big deal, but I thought he was going to be one of those big enhancement dudes. And I thought they would transition him into doing something comedic. I said, Eric Young is going to be fine at WWE because this dude can do anything they ask him to do. And I said, Vince probably going to see that comedy shit, and he's going to be in some comedy shit, and he's going to be one of the best comedic wrestlers in this era because he's really good at it. And I really thought he was going to do that. I thought that's where he was going to go.
They got the best combo.
Sanity. When he came in NXT, he was with Sanity. I said, oh, they're playing off Crazy Eric. They got that'll work, but I was shocked. I shouldn't have been, but I was just for the fact that I knew that this dude could do any fucking thing you wanted him to do, and any shitty situation you put him in, he was the right guy for it. But he's serviceable.
He's serviceable. I'm not denying that he could do. He has range, but he's not a main eventer. That's all I'm gonna say. Congratulations, Rick.
If you didn't know about Super Eric and you saw this Eric Young. If you didn't know about Super Eric and you saw this Eric Young, you're telling me you would still feel the same way? Be real. Be real. If you saw this Eric and you did not know of Super Eric Young.
It's not about Super. It's about being the timid Eric from Team Canada. It's not only about being Super Eric. It's not only about being World Elite. It's not only about being crazy and being married to, what's her fucking name? ODB. It's not about all that. There's so much.
Forget the comedic shit. Forget the comedic shit. If you only saw the intense psycho Eric Young,
if he was consistently what's the word I'm trying to? If he was consistently evil, yes, I can go with it. But he hasn't been.
And with that, I'll take that. And with that, let them know where to find you, Prof, so we can get out of here.
You can find me on the Twitter at PROFPWHustle and find me on Podbean where I host the nostalgic Pro Wrestling Reflection on the PW Hustle Networks at podbeam.com.
Hey, yo, you can find me at A-Track Dastardly, A-T-R-A-C, no K, A-Track Dastardly at Twitter. And don't worry, PWR at the movies, we're going to get more of that shit for you coming up, all right? So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget, You're Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Walking Dead World Beyond reactions. Gonna have those coming to you next week. Q, what did you give the pay-per-view on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, I guess Eric Young. I'm gonna be fair. I'll be objective. I was gonna give it a 5, but I'll give it a 7. because Black Excellence won.
I gave it a 7.5 based on Black Excellence. And believe it or not, I actually gave it an extra point because that 3-2-1 shit was so fucking hilarious. I actually gave them a point for that. They don't even lose points for that. But yo, that's what it was. Yo, don't forget the PW Hustle Facebook group. Get on that shit as well. We fucking be bugging out on that. So like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, that notification button, so I can go walk Taco because that's what he's fucking been screaming about. He wanted to go out for a walk, which was surprising because his ass should have been all right by the time he got here. But yo, we out.
Peace.